Behold the cornucopia of questionable delight. Before us sits a vat that looks like it was designed by someone who lost a bet with both God and biology. Inside, a rainbow of sticky mysteries, candied fruits, pickled roots, and what may or may not be yesterday's roadkill dressed up with sugar. The vendor, calm and unfazed, plunges his bare hand into the abyss with the confidence of a man who has shaken hands with salmonella and lived to tell the tale. Around him, brave souls gather, each face silently screaming, "Will this be my last meal?" Every scoop is a gamble. Orange chunks that look like mango but taste like regret. Shiny slabs that glisten with the same seductive charm as an oil spill. And dark piles of something, possibly fermented in the sun since the Mughal Empire. In the center, a sacred bowl of powder, the seasoning that ties this edible Frankenstein together, like glitter sprinkled on a trash fire. This isn't just food. This is chaos served al fresco. A culinary Russian roulette where the bullet is gastroenteritis and the prize is bragging rights on Instagram. Under the solemn arch of a bridge, where exhaust fumes season the air better than any spice, a mustachioed gentleman sits like a culinary demigod. His throne is nothing more than a rickety platform, but his authority is undeniable. He commands a clay jug of dubious origins, a relic that looks like it's been dug out of an archaeological site and immediately repurposed for beverages. With theatrical flourish, hunks of ice are dropped inside. Not just any ice. No, these glacial marvels are preserved among corks, rags, and an assortment of chemicals so ominous that even cockroaches file relocation requests. The sound of cracking ice echoes like the drum roll of impending regret. Next come the tools of transformation. Not stainless steel bowls, not artisanal jars, but the noblest vessels of all, used paint buckets. Few people dare to taste Sherwin-Williams Lemon Masala Edition, but here it's the house special. Into these chipped buckets go lemons, squeezed with the enthusiasm of a tax collector. Sprinkles of masala whose identity is known only to the mustache god himself. Fistfuls of dirt, because terroir matters. And roots ripped straight from Mother Earth's mystery drawer. The result is less a recipe and more a fever dream with extra pulp. Stirring commences. No sterile spoons here, only instruments that look like they were once part of a car engine. The mixture bubbles not with carbonation, but with pure menace. Each ingredient collides like gladiators in the Colosseum, fighting for the right to upset your stomach first. At last, the masterpiece is ready, an elixir so bold, so defiantly unregulated, that to sip it is to sign a pact with destiny. It isn't refreshment, it's a rite of passage. Every swallow is both a beverage and a lottery ticket, the prize being either enlightenment or 48 hours of uninterrupted bathroom meditation. And yet people line up, because this isn't just street food, it's chaos distilled into liquid, ladled out with a mustache's blessing. It's not a drink you consume, it's a legend you survive. Welcome to the frontier of gastronomy, Swampamole Deluxe Edition. Forget creamy avocados or artisanal toppings. Here the recipe is simple. Take every plant within a 5-meter radius, grind it mercilessly, add a fistful of masala, a suspicious sprinkle of dirt, organic obviously, maybe some used coffee grounds for depth, and voila. Spread it thickly on toast until the bread begs for mercy. The texture? Imagine lawn clippings blended with cement. The aroma? A bouquet of compost heap with subtle notes of despair. The color? A hypnotic green, somewhere between mint toothpaste and radioactive pond. This is not avocado toast. This is eco-terrorism on bread. Each bite is a blind date with botany. Could be basil, could be moss, could be that weed growing in the gutter. Flavor roulette, ladies and gentlemen. And yet, served with confidence, it becomes high art, a swamp symphony where coffee sludge, soil sprinkles, and masala dust dance together on the flimsy stage of a single toast. Not nourishment, but initiation. Swampamole. One bite and you'll never look at a park, a garden, or a potted plant the same way again. Introducing the ancient art of hand-infused citrus extraction trademark. Forget juicers, forget presses. Here we return to the primal technique of plunging an entire arm directly into the juice like Poseidon, claiming dominion over the sea. Observe the elegance, a sturdy blue bucket spattered with pulp, serving as both mixing bowl and finger spa. The hand dives in, churning with all the grace of a washing machine on its last legs. Every swirl adds a personal note of flavor, a hint of sweat, a dash of cuticle essence, the terroir of unwashed fingernails. Why settle for freshly squeezed when you can have freshly massaged? Each gulp is not just orange juice, but a handshake in liquid form. Vitamin C meets vitamin me. Some call it unsanitary, connoisseurs call it artisanal. After all, the secret ingredient isn't the orange, it's trust. Behold the grand finale of rural gastronomy, Latrine stew à la goat. Here we see not just a dish, but an archaeological artifact being unearthed in real time. A carcass, or what remains of it, lies sprawled beneath a tidal wave of bubbling sludge so gray and thick it could easily be mistaken for fresh cement. Steam rises ominously, not as a promise of warmth, but as a warning flare to anyone whose stomach still values survival. Legend has it this recipe begins in the village's most sacred kitchen, the communal latrine. There, amid aromas that defy language, the broth acquires its signature earthy undertones. Undertones so earthy, in fact, that geologists would call it prime sediment. From there, the slurry is poured lovingly over the goat, drowning it until bones poke out like tragic fossils gasping for air. The plating is no less ambitious, a bed of banana leaves, because nothing says fine dining like disguising sewage with foliage. Around the perimeter, flatbreads wait their turn, doomed to act as sponges for the swamp. This isn't cuisine. This is medieval punishment disguised as hospitality. One bite and you won't just taste goat, you'll taste the entire infrastructure of the village's plumbing system. Bon appétit if you dare. Welcome to the city's hottest gourmet destination, a place where elegance meets refuse. Forget silver platters or porcelain dishes. Here your entree arrives ceremoniously balanced on a construction-grade shovel. Nothing says fine dining like the same tool used yesterday to dig a ditch. The dish itself, a fried medley that could only be described as garbage a la mode. Layers of shredded mystery matter, wilted cabbage confetti, and cheese that clings desperately to the shovel like a toddler refusing to leave the playground. The chef, face carved in determination, battles to scrape it off, because when your dinner requires a crowbar, you know it's authentic. The ambiance seals the experience. Fairy lights, painted murals, and in the middle of it all, the culinary equivalent of municipal waste collection. It's not just food, it's performance art. You don't eat it, you witness it, you survive it. This is haute cuisine redefined, where the bin meets the skillet and your dinner is shoveled, not served. Bon appétit. Ah, yes, the making of chai. Not just a drink, but a full-blown performance art. Our chef begins with the ancient ritual of liquid gymnastics, pouring tea back and forth like a street magician running a shell game. Left pot, right pot, back again, faster than your ability to question hygiene. This isn't brewing, this is illusion. The goal? Distract the customer long enough to protect the sacred chai recipe, passed down through generations, and probably written on a napkin somewhere in 1994. And just when your eyes are dizzy and your logic has left the building, he pulls the move, a stealthy handful of what could be either a protein booster or a few of his neighbor's dog fleas. The secret ingredient, straight from the alley, adds that earthy, vibrant je ne sais quoi you never asked for, but will remember forever. One sip and your taste buds are on a pilgrimage. Is it cardamom? Is it cinnamon? Is it the aftertaste of an identity crisis? We may never know. And that's how legends and parasites are born. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Will It Be Edible? Starring a culinary renegade who borrowed his sister's crop top and possibly her last remaining brain cell. Here we see our street chef mixing what appears to be the forbidden slime from a Nickelodeon nightmare. A goo so viscous it's legally classified as a non-Newtonian crime. With bare hands, of course, because gloves are for amateurs and people who fear tetanus. Then, plot twist, he pours it into a cauldron that once belonged to Genghis Khan himself. That's not oil. That's ancient relic juice simmering since the fall of the Mongol Empire. As the goo drops, it shapeshifts into radioactive chickpeas, instantly solidifying as if Medusa just joined the cooking crew. And just when you think it's over, oh no, these mutant nuggets take a final dip into the holy broth of mystery. A concoction likely brewed with Ganges water, lost tears, and 5 types of spiritual confusion. Delicious? Maybe. Digestible? Unlikely. Entertaining? Absolutely.